Hello students, welcome back to your class of English, and today we'll discuss about the editing task. In the previous class we have already been discussed about the error finding, the rules and the points that one must kept in one's mind while doing the error finding or while spotting the errors. Now today we'll see and we will note down that what are the points to remember, what are the things to be kept in mind while going for the omission. As we know that omission is given in an exercise that where in each sentence one word is missing and we have to insert the correct word. So the first of all, let's see that what are the points to be remembered while doing this omission task. The first one, that first of all, read the complete passage carefully. As we know that the very first thing while doing any of the reading task, that we must read the passage carefully to find out or to know that what is the passage all about whom is being talked, what is the idea or the main theme that is being presented in the passage, and the second one, which tense is used. As we know that the reading task, it may be in the past, it may be in the present, or it may be referring to past indefinite, simple, or whatsoever, as we know about the tenses. So we have to find out, we have to identify that which tense is being used in the given passage, and then whether active sentence is used, active voice sentence is used, or passive voice sentence is used. If you have read the passage carefully, then you would definitely be able to identify, to recognize that which tense has been used, and the second, what is the passage about, and then whether the passage is written in the active voice tense or the passive voice tense, as we know about the rules of active and passive voice. So if it would be in the passive voice, then again we have to recapitulate, or we need to complete the passage according to the rules of the active and passive voice. And the next point is the passage is split in lines which are numbered A, B, C, D, E. As we know that the passage is split in various sentences, A, sentence B, C, D, E, but you have to give the whole idea that what is the passage all about, and while going from first sentence to the next one, then just join these two sentences to get a whole meaning. Because if you will not read the first passage, the first line properly, then you would not be able to understand the meaning of the next given sentence. So the passage is split into lines, but you have to give the idea as a whole passage. And the next one, in each line, as we know that as per the omission, one word is being omitted or missing, and we have to supply, or we have to write the missing word along with before word and after word. We have to write on the missing word, and along with, here in the beginning would be the before word, and after the correct word there would be the after word. After and before word, as we know that already been given in the passage, but we have to supply only one correct word, and after the correct word, the first word will be the before word and the other word would be the after word. And the next one, omissions will be based on verbs, tenses, voice, prepositions, determiners and connectors, etc. As even in the previous class we discussed that the editing task mostly based on the grammatical errors. It may be error of a tense, verb, preposition, determiner, connector, active and passive voice. So we need to rectify, or we need to identify those errors or those sentences, then in that case we will be able to complete correctly the omission task or the editing task of error finding. So as we know that about the helping verbs or the auxiliary verbs, we know that they are 11 in number. They are do, does, did, has, have, had, is, am, are, and was, were. And if we know the correct usage of these auxiliary verbs with which subject is to be used, which helping verb, then definitely we would be able to insert the correct word as do, does plus verb form. I always take do, and as we know that the singular and the plural subjects, so accordingly we have to use these verbs and auxiliary verbs. And past, as past, did will take first form of verb always, and students commonly commit this mistake. With did they always use, or most of the time they use the second form of the verb, but the correct word would be did plus verb's first form. And then 2 plus verb 1, infinitive. If there is 2, after 2 infinitive, it always follows first form of verb. To play, to go, to come, to know, to sleep. So after 2 infinitive, always followed by the first form of verb. And the next one is mr plus verb first form plus ing. And we know that with singular subjects we use is, with plural are, and with I only we use am. And the same with was and were. And if we are using was and were, then it will be followed by the first form of verb plus ing, means present participle form of verb, which is known as the fourth form of verb. And the next one is mr plus verb third form, was, were plus verb's third form. It is the first condition would be applied in the active voice sentence, and the next one would be applied in the passive voice sentence. Is mr plus verb third form, past participle form. It will be used when the sentence is in the passive voice sentence. And the next one would be has, have. As we know that in present perfect tense, has and have is used and the past participle form of verb. And if it's a past perfect, then had plus third form of verb is used. But it is applied in the active voice cases. And if the sentence were in the passive voice, then it would be has, have plus been plus past participle form of verb. Has been, have been plus third form of verb. And in case of past perfect, it would be had plus been plus third form of verb. And if, dear students, you will keep in mind all these rules that which I am going to discuss and which I am discussing with you, then definitely these would really be very helpful in doing your editing task. And moreover, these will be helpful in your writing skills, in attempting your comprehension passages, as you know that every time you have to give the written test, and even these will also be very helpful in your speaking part also. So whenever you are speaking or writing down something, if you will keep all these rules in mind, then definitely you will be a very good speaker as well as a good writer. So dear students, always keep these rules in the mind to become a good writer of the language of English. So now let's see the next rules. What are the next rules that we talk about while doing the editing task?